is get you? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be talking about the new salary cap reward and the new salary cap 2 weeks, being the Ruby Joakim Noah in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM, whether he's worth it for you guys to go and pick up. And not only that, guys, what you guys should be thinking about when it comes to your lineups in the salary cap mode as well. Now, before we dive any further into that, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure to smash that subscribe button as we're on the road towards 120,000 subscribers. Now, there is one guy in specific for salary cap that I think is absolutely elite. And that man, I'm just going to go and tell you guys, is this Charlie Ward card. Now, if you can get him from this level up pack, that's probably where I would want to get him from. But either way, guys, Charlie Ward is absolutely incredible. Like, I can't phrase that enough, guys. Card's absolutely elite and definitely a card I'd recommend getting for the salary cap mode. But is Joakim Noah worth it? Well, ask me that question because I'm the one, guys, who I might be a fool, but I went and got Brent Barry in week 1. Now, does Brent Barry play on my squad? No. Is he bad? No. You could use Brent Barry and have success with him. Now, Joakim Noah is 6'11". He's an interior center, an inside center, 88 block, 88 interior, great rebounder, 67 speed, 74 lateral quickness. Some pretty solid badges as well. But the problem with Joakim Noah is this, okay? Right now, can he play for you guys and can he compete against Shaq? Yes. So when I look at the center position, and I'm talking about budget guys that can compete against like the Shaqs of the world, there's not many. And so that's why I'm like, you know what? I don't even hate Joakim Noah. On the flip side of things, do I think Joakim Noah is better than Jabari Smith Jr.? No. Okay, and I know they're two completely opposite players, which they are, and I 100% agree with. But when I'm looking at things, I think Jabari Smith Jr. is way better than Joakim Noah. And so that makes it really tough for me. I think Ben Wallace is so much better than Joakim Noah as well. And so that's really kind of the tough part. I will say this, though. If you are like no money spent, okay, like I am on my no money spent squad series, Joakim Noah could absolutely help me out. There's no questioning that, okay? He could absolutely help my no money spent squad out. But my whole thing is it worth grinding salary cap over another mode? And again, that's totally up to you. Along the way, you'll get 1,200 MT, you'll get some rewards, and you'll just get points by playing the game. But you have to play like 21, you have to win like 21 games to get Joakim Noah. So it's not like it's a short grind either. It is a grind that's going to take you a decent amount of time. And I just, again, this is me telling you guys, I just don't know for sure if Joakim Noah is worth it. Because look, again, I went and got Brent Barry in weeks 1 and 2, and he's fine, but he doesn't play for me. And then the ultimate reward is Victor Oladipo, and I'm here to tell you guys, Victor Oladipo is not great either. So, I mean, I'm not one that, look, on this account, I'll probably go get Joakim Noah because it gives me something to do. It's another card to add to card collector. Plus, who knows? Maybe they'll update Victor Oladipo to be good. But if you guys are in a position and you guys don't have that much time to spend grinding the game and you have a decent squad, I just can't sit here in front of you guys and say Joakim Noah is worth grinding. I encourage you guys to go get Alonzo Mourning instead. If you have extra time to grind the game, I'd encourage you guys to play Triple Threat offline for Alonzo Mourning instead of getting Joakim Noah. Because compare the two cards, guys. I can compare them side by side. And I'm telling you guys right now, this Alonzo Mourning blows Joakim Noah out of the water. Not only does he give you somewhat of a 3-ball, he gives you better speed, better lateral quickness, and better badges as well. So that's just, again, kind of my approach to things. Is Joakim Noah worth it? Probably not. Now let's talk lineups, okay? Here's the deal with salary cap. What I like to do a lot of times is I'll go in here to my collection and I'll search by max salary being 300, okay? And then I'll add some of these really cheap options, okay? So a lot of times in salary cap, either I'll run a 5-man or like a 7 or 8-man, just because, look, the game's short enough. You do not need that many good salary players. So what I would do is I would do this, okay? I would go in here, add as many max salary 300s as you can. Now, Danny Green, Kenyon Martin, they can play a few minutes, okay? If you have Wemby, I mean, and I don't think he's 300, but if he was 300, he can play some minutes as well. But this is the very first thing I would do. Go in here, search by 300. And then I'll explain why we're doing this, okay? Because you guys might be like, Ty, what are you doing? Like, you're not going to have a bench. I'll explain it here when it does get to it. But here's the reason. Here's the big reason. If you have a bunch of players with 300 on your bench, that's just the more salary you can use on your starting lineup. Now, obviously, Kyrie Irving is crazy expensive. Shaq isn't too bad. And honestly, Anthony Davis being 3,000 is really solid. But let's talk cheaper, maybe budget, more so budget options, okay? So here's the deal, okay? If you have Ruby Giannis, he's 2,400. That's not bad at all. Thurl Bailey's 1,800. If you have Lamar Odom, 900 this week. So that's like the first thing. If I can get a Ruby like Lamar Odom for 900, I'm adding him. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Iggy, 800. Adding him. No questions asked. Steven Jackson's only 600. Again, no questions asked when it comes to these things. So what I would do, again, I'm going to put Iggy in the lineup, and I'm going to put Lamar Odom in the lineup. Boom. Good, solid budget options. Now, Shaq isn't that expensive, right? So I could use Shaq and have some success with him. Emerald KP, 400 MT. Even here, guys, if you want to run a 5-man or a 10-man, I should say, you can stick Emerald KP into this spot and he can be just fine. Now let's look at the point guard position. Who do I have that's decent budget-wise? Dame Lillard isn't super expensive. If you have Jason Kidd, 1,200 is about as good a value as you can get. But even when you look down here, Robert Pack, super cheap, 400 MT. Some other guys, again, Goran Dragic, 300 MT. Another guy, boom, plug him right in here. You can run these golds as long as they're decent. Goran Dragic's decent, so I could run him. Some other guys, Joe Dumars for 1,300 is really solid as well. And that's probably who I'd pick. Joe Dumars, Jason Kidd, if I'm you guys, that's who I'm probably picking. Shooting guard position, again, you could probably, what I would do, just look through your collection. If you have pre-order Book, pre-order Kobe, shooting guard position, those are absolute gems to run. Another gem for salary cap right now, Mike Miller, 500 MT. You're not going to get much better than that. And the thing I like about Mike Miller and highlighting Mike Miller is everybody has Mike Miller. So, I mean, if you don't have him, it's kind of your fault because he is in the agenda. So you can definitely easily get him. Again, AD for 3,000 is a little more than I'd probably want to spend. The center position, I got to be honest with you, I don't have a lot of options at the center position. So like obviously Shaq's an option, but even like when I'm looking at like Daryl Dawkins for 900, he's not bad. Sigma for 1,600. A lot of people might have Sigma because of that choice pack, whatever. I don't know. I'd probably spend up at the center position, but again, budget-wise, Sigma. So this squad right here is 7,500. And again, if I wanted to, I've obviously got Danny Green on the bench. I've obviously got Kenyon Martin on the bench. And then I could find a backup small forward for relatively cheap as well to plug in the bench. Robert Horry, 500 MT. He can go out there and, compete decent. I'm not saying he's the best, but he can at least go out there and compete for me. Matt Barnes, 600 MT. Another guy that I just can trust to go out there and compete. And Jarvis Hayes isn't bad for 300 MT either. So, like, this is about as budget as you can get, and this is 7,500 MT. Another thing, if you guys want to, or I can do for you guys, as you can go in here and click and look at each individual player's salary cap. Again, I've got a lot of these newer players, so I mean, I can kind of do whatever I want. But if I'm on my no money spent, Mike Miller has to be the guy to carry you. He absolutely does. Mike Miller has to be that man with the plan. If you do want to use kind of like a really good player, Dame is 1,800. That's not super bad. Again, a lot of you guys might have this pre-ordered Dumars for 1,300 at the point guard position. It's tough to get much better than that. And then a lot of these cards are pretty expensive. I probably would try to not use anybody like at 1,800. If you, for whatever reason, have like the pre-order Kobe, pre-order D-Book, those are really solid options to run with. And then, again, there are some really good budget options. Wes Matthews is decent if you have him, but that's kind of what I would look to do. Now, again, if I'm building my personal best salary cap lineup, what I probably would do is I'd probably put in AD right here and then just run it. Like, that's honestly probably what I would do. And then if I have a little more MT, I mean, shoot, I don't really need anything. This team can get it done, but maybe I'd plug in a bench piece that's a little bit better. Or maybe even, I can't run Kyrie Irving, but maybe even plug in like Damian Lillard, right? give me a little more offense with Anthony Davis, and run this type of lineup. There's a ton of things you can do with salary cap. I actually don't mind the way it's ran right now, but again, I have a ton of players. But even on my no money spent, right? I know I got Matt Barnes he's 600 points. I know I got Mike Miller. And heck, I know I'm going to have a budget point guard that I'm going to be able to run as well. Whether it is Gus Williams for 900 MT, I could run him. Whether I got Robert Packard, even Derek Fisher could at least hold it down. Or you know what, guys? You go and you grind out, or you go and you, if you have to, go pick up the new point guard here that's in Charlie Ward. That's what, 500 salary cap, who is absolutely elite as well. So just again, some things to think about when building your salary cap team ahead of Joakim Noah. Is he worth grinding? Again, I'll leave that up to you. I don't think he's anything special, but again, totally up to you. That's gonna wrap it up for our video, guys. Drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.